Hello everyone. It's an honor to be here. My name is Dazzle from CARV. It's an honor to speak alongside you guys. I would just love to get to know you guys. So could you give us a little bit of introduction for yourself for the audience here?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Cecilia Hsueh. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Morph. So to people who don't know about Morph, Morph is a global consumer layer and acting as a distribution hub for all resources builders need, from launch to scale to the mass market. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone, and it's really nice to be here, and it is so excited to be in Taiwan at TBW. And my name is Ellie. I come from HashKey chain. We are going to build a new chain for HashKey group, and we want to. I know for layer 2 is actually so competitive right now, and we do want to bring some different voice and bring some different ecosystem to this market. And we are going to hold our first hack house in Hong Kong at the end of this month. So if you guys are builders or if you're interested to learn more about our ecosystem, you can just join us. Yeah, thank you.
And hey everyone, I'm Kenny. I'm co-founder over at Manta Network. We are the largest modular L2 in the space right now, 200 plus different ecosystems continuing to thrive on a daily basis. And so we're really excited about all the growth that we're seeing in the space this year. Really excited about a lot of the stuff we're doing in 2025, and also invite you guys to come join us in terms of community, in terms of developer ecosystem. We have a lot of different incentives to help drive growth for your own applications and projects. So looking forward to the conversation. Thank you.
Amazing. Yeah, so the panel one before this was L1, and now we're going to move on to L2, and then I'll promise to finish before lunchtime so we can all go eat lunch on time. So today we'll be talking about accelerating adoption through scalable and cost-effective infrastructures. So I wanted to ask you guys, so Morph, HashKey chain, and Manta are all EVM chains. So what problems did you want to solve in your vision to create your L2? Can we start with you, Cecilia?
Sure. So we entered the space 1.5 years ago. We just launched our mainnet 1 month ago. So when we entered the space, the question we were thinking is that when we look into all these L2 like spaces, we saw probably at that time like 100, 150 L2s on the market, and now it's probably 200 L2s already on the market. So when you have so many layer 2s, how can you be different, and what kind of questions, what kind of problems you want to solve? So when we look into the market, we actually saw a lot of problems. Something is wrong because everybody competing with each other, they are basically just fixing, I would say, minor technical features, which no builders and no users really care. For example, who have higher TPS, who is using parallel EVM or non-parallel EVM. I don't think definitely end users, they don't care. And some builders, they don't even care. What they care is that which chain can bring them more users, which chain can bring them a real, like a comprehensive ecosystem, or really like all these resources builders needs. So that's the point when we were thinking about that, we need to fix this. And our background and my background, I was running a top tier exchange before, so we know exactly where the users are, where the money is. So why not helping the builders to bring all these users' resources to them, instead of just tell them, hey, come and integrate with us. This is a chain infrastructure you can use. So that's the vision we have. And also on the other side, I think too many chains and too many builders, they are just focusing on beautiful degen people, for the crypto native people, while a lot of other retail users and everyday users are neglected on the market. So that's also why we choose consumer layer as our vision and also our positioning, because we want to build for everyday users, like your friends, your family, to bring them on chain, to build the real like use cases and to solve the real world problems. That's the whole vision of Morph.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And for you, Ellie?
Yeah, I think it's talking about the vision to building a layer 2 or blockchain is actually very good questions. And I think just as Cecilia just said, there is about over 200 blockchain right now. So if you have no idea why you want to build a new chain, then you come into this market is so dangerous. It's such a dangerous idea. And for HashKey Group, we started to consider about building a new chain started this year. And I would like to see that we build this chain with very clear visions. And after I enter our group for HashKey Group, I'm just surprised that we have so many resources. For HashKey Group, we have a lot of business line right now. No matter it is for about Web 2 business or to Web 3 business, we have so much. Like probably for some well-known one is about HashKey Exchange, HashKey Capital, or HashKey Cloud. And why we build the chain, the first point is want to get stock over of the resources of the whole HashKey group. And we would like to put the assets that is available to us and put it on chain. And it is actually also beneficial for all the our tokens holder and also beneficial for a HashKey group. And on the other hand is actually for the external ecosystem. And because for HashKey group, we think we have like strong connection with some Web 2 business line, especially for some traditional finance institutions. So that's why we want to do this, because we see this pain point and we see this need that from some traditional institutions or traditional bank, especially in Hong Kong area, they have motivations or they show great interest to do something about Web3. So this is what we can do. We can provide our professional idea, or we can provide our technology, and we can provide the solutions to help them to step into this area. And we already have some very detailed plan to collaboration with the traditional banking. Like they show great interest to tokenize their fund, and then their users or their investors can also do something on the chain. They can sell or buy or sell their tokens on the chain. I think there is still a lot need to be further explored, but we are so happy to do that, and we would like to explore more with our users, with our clients, and with the institutions that we partner with. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie. And what about you, Kenny, from Manta?
Yeah, so I think I'm probably the oldest person on this stage in terms of like the amount of time that Manta's been around. And in that time, over the past 4 years of building and experimenting with many different things, I realized that a project is not its technology, right? And so when I say that, what I mean is that Manta Pacific is our layer 2. It is the largest modular layer 2 in Ethereum. It is not our only product. We have a layer 1 as well. We have technology stacks that we build on top of our layer 2 also. What does that mean for us as a project, right? I think like, and this is something that I think every single project is going to go through, because on the infrastructure level, you can't compete on commodity hardware, right? The reality is L2s are commodities, right? Like I think everyone just basically said that. And so you have to compete on how you're driving value to the end user. And so for Manta, right, what we're looking at is, okay, right now, the manifestation of how we drive that value is how to optimize our L2 in terms of gas fee reduction, in terms of gas fee rebates, a lot of different things that are going on in our ecosystem. But looking out into the landscape 5 years from now, what is Manta? I'll tell you, it's not going to be an L2. Right? An L2 is one of the products that services the users in this generation. But in the future, right, you have to think about, okay, where does this go? What does 2025 look like? What does 2026 look like? And even beyond that, right, like I see a lot of opportunity in terms of innovation on the alt VM space, on horizontal scalability, in terms of abstraction, moving the infrastructure away from the end user. And Manta is exploring all of that. And I think that a lot of different infrastructure providers will also start heading in that direction.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, so the next question is for you guys. I'm gonna get just a little bit technical. I don't have tech background, so please dumb it down for everyday language here. So what made you guys choose EVM over any others? So what would you say the biggest advantage of EVM over, let's say, SVM or any other language such as Rust or Move? So why EVM for you guys?
I'll go
Cecilia?
first. I'm also not technical, so I won't go. I think most of people here are not technical, so we won't go too technical here. I think the reason why we chose EVM is still the whole Ethereum, like the ecosystem, is the most mature, the most sophisticated ecosystem we can choose. And also, it's the safest from our understanding. And it's true that when we talk to builders, the first question they always ask us is that, are you EVM? And if we are EVM, it will be super easy for them to build on. So I think EVM is still kind of like dominating the whole ecosystem now. Yeah.
And what about you guys, Ellie?
Yes, because I'm also not the technical person, so I would like to answer this question from the perspective of the ecosystem. I think we choose the EVM for one point is like, of course, for HashKey, we are the strong backer for the Ethereum ecosystems. And besides that, we believe like Ethereum ecosystem, they already accumulate a lot of developers, and for those developers, I think they are more comfortable to stay in the EVM compatible ecosystem here. And when we talk to the project to talk about interrogation with our chain, I think for EVM compatible is probably the easiest things that they can do. They do not to spend too much time to write another code to convert it into a different like code ecosystems, but they can just focus on the ecosystem here. And also besides that, we think for a lot of chain right now, I'm not saying about technology, it doesn't matter, but ecosystem probably is the more important things, because it is just like the store. Doesn't matter like how beautiful the stores look like. It is more like what you sell. So that's what we want to say is we want to provide a lot of interest the apps, or provide a lot of useful use case on our chain, and to invite more and more developers to here, and to invite more users. They can use our chain. That's actually what we want to do. So probably based on this point, that's why we choose the EVM. I think probably it is the best answer to solve what we are going to do. So yeah.
Amazing, thank you. And Kenny? Why EVM?
Manta, we weren't EVM. So we actually started in the Polkadot ecosystem, right? And we learned a very tough lesson there, because when we were in the Polkadot ecosystem, we built an amazing technology. We actually still have in existence the fastest on-chain ZK-proof protocol compared to any other L1 in this space. And that's saying a lot, because there's Zcash, there's Monero, a lot of amazing ZK innovators. And so we were able to beat them at their own game. And that was awesome. But there were no users, right? Polkadot had quite a bit of hype, but at the end of the day, how many people were actually going there to use their applications? Practically no one. And so we recognize that when you're building in this space, it's not simply about technology, but also where's the user base? Where can you go to scale? And so the answer to that problem for us was EVM. And so that's why we decided to launch our, on Manta Pacific, our EVM chain. But that being said, right, at the time, I believe Ethereum and the Ethereum community had all of the market share in terms of users, in terms of developer ecosystems. It was a very gate-kept entrance, right? If you're thinking back in 2018, right, and you're coming into the space as a developer, what are you going to learn? You're not going to learn any other programming language except Solidity. That's the only thing that's available. And so as a result, Ethereum had a head start in building their developer ecosystem. And you see that head start give them a huge advantage in like 2022, because then everyone's building applications on EVM. And so we still see that as an advantage here today, because you can fork different applications, have the same DEX with different skins and different names on 1,000 different chains. But I do think that environment is shifting, and I do think that Ethereum's market share is being eaten up by a lot of alt-VM applications now as well, right? So namely Solana, right? I think like it's unarguable how much market share Solana has gotten over such a short period of time. And I think that there's a lot of other alt-VMs with like Move, with Movement and Aptos and Hsueh that are coming into play as well. And I'm really interested and curious to see what the next year is going to play out to be, because I don't believe in 2025 Ethereum and EVM will have the dominance that it currently sustains. Because there are a lot of contention, is a lot of amazing, very fast-moving players in the space, and now in 2025, we're going to see the launch of Berachain, we're going to see the launch of Monad, right? A lot of other alt VMs, alt L1s as well. So I do think like that's very interesting to keep in mind as a builder in the infrastructure side, because you can't. I don't think you can put all your eggs in one basket, just like Manta couldn't put all of its eggs in the Polkadot basket. I do think we're going to see that sort of shift on the EVM layer as well next year.
Kenny, do you want to build a Solana layer 2 soon?
I can't comment on it, but I will say that we're very adaptable to everything.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, thank you. I would like to actually touch a little bit more about the adoption and the application that you mentioned. Since you did mention that you're the oldest in terms of the mainnet
Yes,
launch.
listen to your big brother.
Yes, Manta has launched mainnet over a year now. What industry or use cases are showing the strongest interest in your L2 solution? Can you share any success stories that you have seen in the past year?
Yeah. I think for Manta, what we're really proud of as a team is that we are able to help a lot of very small projects bootstrap and experience explosive growth. Have you guys here heard of like a project called Stakestone? No one's heard of. Oh, okay, cool. All right, that's great. So Stakestone, right? Like they were one of the projects that started off building on Manta and since have grown tremendously. We were able to bring them from about 5 million in TVL to about 1.8 billion in TVL in approximately 2 months. And so I think that's a really strong testament to the amount of effort and prioritization that our team puts on making sure our ecosystem projects are extremely successful. That being said, right, like you can only do so much growth in a specific ecosystem project that is within your control. Everything else is macro, right? And what's the macro right now? It's memes, it's AI, and DeFi is starting to create a reemergence. And so we do see a lot of interest and growth around the meme, AI, gaming sphere. I think you're probably going to see a lot of similar things across many different L2s. But I think what's more interesting is what will the emerging trends be? And I also think that's why it's interesting for HashKey here, because you guys have sort of that advantage based on your parent entity, right, for your L2. I do think that as we transition over into 2025, especially with this new administration coming into the United States, it's a huge signal to the space, and potentially an even broader signal to the space next quarter, that RWAs is going to make a very huge entrance into the market, because RWAs, I think, speaks fundamentally to the value proposition of blockchain, but it has never taken off because of a lack of regulatory clarity, a lack of compliance issues, and this agreeability between government control and decentralization. But I do think as we continue to move forward and we see this governmental adoption on a global scale of blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs, we are going to see more flexibility and more entrance into this place on the RWA side. So personally, very excited about that, for Manta and even beyond.
Amazing, thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna pick on you, Cecilia, next. You're the next oldest in terms of the mainnet launch. Since the mainnet launch.
We just launched 1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a great question about, all these ecosystem applications. Actually, it's the most important question we are thinking every day. So for Morph, because we are global consumer layer, basically we see our ecosystem in 3 different layers. The first one is that we want to change the so-called traditional DeFi projects into a more user-friendly ones, because DeFi is too hard to approach for normal users. So the target one is to how we can help these DeFi projects to be more easy to approach. For example, we have Kaboom, which is Telegram trading like app built on Telegram. So the easiest thing for it, the charm of it is it's super easy, super painless, super seamless to use. Users can on-ramp and off-ramp their the trading margin with their Apple Pay. And also they can swipe left and right to choose between different coins, swipe down and down and up to choose different trading strategies. And also they give you, trading signals by AI trading bots. So it will be super easy to onboard these Telegram end users. So this is a DeFi changing we are making. And the second layer of applications is more about, consumer focusing. How to bring the everyday use cases on-chain. For example, we have social, entertainment, loyalty, lifestyle-related applications. We have one project called Impact. They're super early stage, but I would say they're very promising. They're kind of like AI trainer in your phone. So if you follow the AI trainer on your phone to do exercises every day, you do workout at home, they give you tokens as incentive. If you go to gym, you pay them, right? If you do that with Impact, they pay you with tokens. And also we have wearable devices which track all your health data, but you own these data by yourself because it's on-chain. And you can share with these institutions, and meanwhile, you own incentives by token. So there are a lot of this kind of use cases on Morph. We launched 1 month ago, but we can already see a lot of very promising dApps on Morph. And also the third layer, which is the most important layer for us, is the payment. So we do think that if we want to enter mass adoption bring the blockchain into mass adoption, definitely payment is and transaction is the biggest pain point which we can solve from the real world. Because we are still using the SWIFT system, which was developed invented like 15 years ago. The whole technology is still like very slow, and also the fee is super high, and people need to do KYC all the time, and they always give you a lot of restriction on that. But blockchain can definitely solve this problem. So that's why we are going to launch MorphPay very soon. So the idea of MorphPay is that you are going to integrate all your wallets, including fiat currency, including cryptocurrency, in one wallet. So you don't need to switch, you don't need to do OTC and transact your money between fiat and crypto. And within that ecosystem, you have different payment solutions. Right now, we are actually doing partnership with different regulated crypto, kind of like crypto card issuers. So they are going to allow you to have these crypto card and pay with your cryptocurrency, and also pay with your fiat currency with the blockchain technology as a back. And meanwhile, if you hold this card, you can get airdrops from different Morph ecosystem projects. For example, from Impact, from our wearable devices, from Kaboom, right? And you can get airdrops from time to time if you use this card. And meanwhile, we are going to plug and play our DeFi projects as their yield. So if you are the card holder, you will have the yield from your card. So sometimes you don't even need to pay. It's free for example, you are going to pay for your dinner today, but you pay with your yield from your Morph card. So this is a whole ecosystem we are building now. So very excited to see what we are going to achieve next year.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. And about you, Ellie, you guys are launching mainnet soon this month, right?
Yes.
So what do you guys foresee as the main adoption or application on your HashKey chain?
Because we haven't launched our mainnet, so probably compared to Morph or compared to Manta, we're still at our baby stage. But we are going to launch it at the end of this month. So I think what is exciting about HashKey chain, I can just summarize into 3 sectors. The first one is RWA. As I just said, we have already partnered with some traditional bank or traditional financial institutions, and probably we will announce it recently. We have do a lot of things with them, and they show great interest to do some tokenization things to do their traditional fund. And so that in the future, the users probably can buy or sell their tokens on the chain. It's not just you can do that on the centralized exchanges, but on the other hand, you can also treat or do some DeFi things on chain. That will make it more interesting here, and probably can also add extra bonus or extra incentives to those token holders. And we want to help them to do this is because we find it is actually a very, very big market. And it is just not about for the institutions' issues that they want to do that. And for these holders, they are also show the demand or the requirement to increase their yield. So it is actually the win-win things. And for HashKey chain, we would like to help them to do the technology things and also to, to make the solutions better. And also, we also have our incentives mechanisms. We will give the airdrop, but for the detail how to send our airdrops, probably it is still a secret. Probably the users, you can just interrogate with our chain and you can explore further. And the second part is also the payment, and I think just as Cecilia already mentioned about that, we are also want to do something about the payment. Because we found that for the payment, it is actually the very interesting things, especially you want to to do something about the mass adoption. And for the, we just hold our PayFi AMA last night, and it's really interesting to find that a lot of projects, they're working on that. And we found the payment market in the Web2, it is a trillion market. And if Web3, you just do something, probably just account for several %, it will be large enough to incentive the users or projects here. So what we want to do is to provide our advice, to provide our platform, and to help those PayFi projects can maximize their strengths on our platform. And because we know it is also a very competitive, because some traditional payment, they are also like Visa, like PayPal, like Swift, they're also doing something to get into the Web3. So it is really difficult for the new PayFi project. They want to do something right now. So this is what we want to do, help them to make their plan better and give them some compliance advice and to make them to facing more and more users. And the second part is the stablecoin, because we already partner with, because for Hong Kong, it's actually, we hold the sandbox, and there's a lot of Hong Kong dollar stablecoin, they're still running in our in the sandbox. And we have already to talk with some of the partners in the sandbox. And they also show great interest to put their stablecoin to issue it on the HashKey chain. And what we talk with them is to help them to explore more and more use case in the Web2 or offline, that they can use Hong Kong dollar stablecoin just as you use USDT, USDC. You can use it to buy things. Probably you doesn't need to transfer into the currency. You can just directly to buy it from your cryptocurrency. So it will make life much more easier, and we can enjoy the improvement of the technology of blockchain to our life.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm wishing you all the best on your mainnet launch. We are running out of time, so my last question would be anything you guys would like to share, anything upcoming exciting? You guys have 30 seconds each. Who would like to start? Cecilia.
TGE soon.
Yay. Amazing. Ellie? Final words.
Well, I think for the most exciting things for us, because we are two big things in this month. The one is we will launch our mainnet at the end of this month, and also our hack house in Hong Kong. So anyone, if you're in Hong Kong in December 20th, please join us. You can just enjoy our ecosystem and enjoy our culture and enjoy our atmosphere here. So welcome.
Amazing. And Kenny?
We actually have a lot of stuff coming up before the end of the month, but I can't really talk about it right now because it's coming out next week. But that being said, right, if you guys are interested, it is a glimpse into how Manta is thinking about future-proofing itself beyond EVM. And so I'll just leave it at that. Follow us on socials if you want to keep updated on what's going to be announced.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Just want to add one thing. I'm probably the only one founder of Layer 2s who's based in Taipei. So very excited to meet our local Taiwan communities from time to time. Like probably every month we can meet with each other. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone.